Andrew Luck being compared to the best regular season quarterback. Skip Bayless, is that fair?
Stephen A. Smith, I had absolutely no problem with anything that Reggie Wayne said here. Remember, he prefaced by saying, I hate to do this. I hate to compare the ways that these two guys prepare for and conduct themselves during practice. So it was just about practice here, if I can go Allen Iverson on you. But he said that just during practice, that Andrew Luck is somewhat like, not better than or equal to, but somewhat like Peyton Manning. Well, so what? That's okay. Now I can argue that it's very dangerous to even include Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck in the same breath. But in this case, I don't think he was trying to say anything that linked the two in any way, except that he does remind me a little bit of how Peyton would push us during practice, the perfectionist, the driven Andrew Luck. I'm still on record. I think that RG3 will prove to be better than Andrew Luck. But in this case, I'm okay with what Reggie Wayne said.
There's absolutely no problem with what Reggie Wayne said. Number one, he's qualified to do so because he played for years with Peyton Manning. He practiced for years with Peyton Manning. He caught touchdown passes for Peyton Manning. You know, he's going to a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. So he's definitely qualified to say what he had to say because he has a first-hand account. That's number one. Number two, the Indianapolis Colts, in the aftermath of the Peyton Manning era, you know that Andrew Luck had to remind them of Peyton Manning, because if you were so willing to let go of Peyton Manning and to really, really move forward to the new era, you had better get somebody that would emulate one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen in our lifetime. Number three, Chuck Pagano at the ESPYs raved about Andrew Luck and what a competitor he was and how he goes about handling his business meticulously. He ain't trying to bring attention to himself. He's not trying to be extra. All he's trying to do is to go out there and perform to the best of his ability. If anything, to some degree, he reminds me of Eli Manning, because I don't see his personality being that of Peyton, because I'm telling you right now, Peyton is undercover hilarious. I'm telling you that right now. I've met Peyton Manning a few times away from the football field. He can be hysterical. He's straight comedy sometimes. He really, really is.
We're going to talk about that later.
Yeah,
maybe that's yeah. Maybe that's the difference.
Video.
Maybe that's the difference. But when you're talking about Andrew Luck and you're drawing comparisons to Peyton Manning, what you're looking is how Peyton Manning went about the business of being a professional. And that's what Andrew Luck does. And obviously, when you're great, people want to know why you were great. People want to know what makes you great. The Manning camp exists for that reason. It's not the Manning camp with Eli and Peyton doesn't exist just so they can show you how to throw a football. It's about studying. It's about discipline. It's about focus. It's about all those things that contribute to greatness, which is why when Johnny Manziel ultimately left the camp, it made national news, because people are saying this is the way it's supposed to be done. Who would know better than these guys? Well, Andrew Luck is simply emulating greatness. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a compliment to Peyton Manning, and there's nothing that should be taken from it in regards to what Reggie Wayne had to say.
So you don't read in any way, shape, or form into this comment that Reggie is suggesting that Andrew Luck will be as good as or better than Peyton Manning in this league?
No.
I don't
either.
He
might be suggesting that someday Andrew Luck may be as good as Peyton or better, but it would happen to be because of Peyton. Listen, there's nothing greater for the teacher at the end of the day when they're said and done. The only thing better than being recognized as the greatest is if you're no longer recognized the greatest because a pupil of yours is somebody you taught and somebody that you helped get to heights greater than you. There's no success without a successor. If you're a success but you're standing alone and you didn't share your gifts in a fashion that could be emulated and ultimately taken to another stratosphere, then what have you truly accomplished? If all you get to do is stand on your own and say, this is what I did this, I did that, but there's nobody else, there's no fruits for your labor. There's no successor because you didn't take the time to reach out and help somebody elevate to another stratosphere. You've done nothing. All you've done is accomplish and handle your business, but that's fleeting. That's going to come and
Just
go.
one last
Your
quick-
legacy is attached to who you help.
One last quick inside story. When we had Coach Pagano on at the ESPYs, Carrie was somewhere on the. She was at the first of the red carpet. We were actually at the
She
end
was
of
on the red carpet.
Yeah, she
Go
was
ahead.
somewhere. She was too good for us.
Yeah.
But we were talking to Coach Pagano on air, and I almost asked Coach Pagano, how close can Andrew Luck come to being as good as or better than Peyton Manning? And I caught myself at the last second. Of course, somebody was telling me to rap in my ear, but I thought, that's not fair. I'm not even going to go there. So at least I'm not being a hypocrite here.
By saying it.
Yeah. I think what Reggie said was borderline dangerous, but still within bounds.